Hey, good morning. It's Councillor Glen, and today I'm on Cypress Gardens Crescent in front of the home of the Turcottes slash the Griswolds. This is their big Christmas tribute to the Griswolds. They're actually doing it as a fundraiser for the food bank, for the Stittsville Food Bank, which is a great idea. I don't know if you can see the sign there on camera, but there's a QR code, and they're just asking for donations to the food bank. What a great idea. Lots of fun. They've been all over the news this week and social media. The station wagon looks great. Anyways, and come check it out at night because they light it all up with the lights on the house. And so far, the neighborhood still has power, which is a good thing. I've got a whole bunch of updates this morning, so let's get to it. First of all, we had an idea. Stittsville's hospital is the Queensway-Carleton Hospital. That's the closest hospital to us. The Queensway, the doctors, the nurses, the staff there have done so much in 2020 to help us out with COVID-19 and everything else that they do beyond COVID-19. They also run the Moody Drive Assessment Center. And I was speaking with my team, my Stittsville team, and we thought it'd be a great idea to find a way to say thanks. So starting this week, if you go to Brown's Independent, you're going to see a bin and a sign. And what we're asking you to do is write a little thank you note for the staff at the Queensway-Carleton Hospital, all the frontline workers. Maybe drop in a Christmas card, maybe a thank you card, and tell them how much you appreciate all the work that they're doing. The doctors, the nurses, the frontline staff, everyone there at the Queensway-Carleton Hospital. I'll be posting some more information about this on Facebook and on my website this weekend, but just wanted to give you a heads up today on that. And I hope you can find a way to say thanks over the next few weeks. We'll collect them all up just before Christmas and make a delivery before the Christmas break. The other thing this week is we've launched our call for interest for the Stittsville Main Street Steering Committee. So as you probably know, we've been doing some consultation and engagement with the community to start planning for the future of Stittsville Main Street. And one of the initiatives we want to do is to set up a steering committee to help guide the next steps and do some planning. So if you go to my website right now, glengower.ca, you will see some information if you're interested in being part of that steering committee, how you can apply to be a part of that. As of December 1st, winter parking on-street restrictions are in place. So there's a number of signs in the community that goes from December 1st to, I believe, March 15th or March 31st, where you can only park on one side of the street. And that's to help snow removal, it's to help emergency vehicles and school buses get by during the winter. So that's in effect of December 1st. Know your signs and don't miss that. Kavanaugh Construction sent me a note about two upcoming tree clearing operations. The first one is actually not too far from here. It's behind the new Porter Place neighborhood, and they're going to be hand cutting some trees and building a path to connect to the Coyote Run pathway system. There's already a rough path that people have already sort of forged through the woods. They're actually going to be pretty much following that path, but making it a more formal, manicured landscape pathway to connect the communities, so that's good. And then a tree cutting, I really don't like to have to share this news, but we're going to be seeing some tree cutting along the new Cope Drive corridor, just south of the Shea Woods. So I did a whole video about this, and there's information on my website. But Kavanaugh Construction is going to be cutting some trees south of the Shea Woods. We're going to protect Shea Woods, about 5 hectares between this Cope Drive corridor and the Hydro corridor. And I'm really not doing a good job at explaining where this is, but essentially it's the western edge of the new Westwood community. Maybe it's just easier to say, go to my Facebook page yesterday and you'll see a video that I posted all about it. You'll see the location and everything, or go to my website at glengower.ca. We had a busy week at City Hall, as we always do. I had 4 committees. We had Board of Health, where we passed the Board of Health budget for 2021, looking ahead to what our needs are for COVID-19 and for vaccination. Had a very positive update from Dr. Vera Etches. The numbers are looking really good, but as you've probably heard her messages, we need to stay vigilant. We need to keep doing all the simple things that will help prevent the spread of COVID. We need to wash our hands, we need to wear a mask, and we need to avoid crowded areas. And as much as possible through this holiday season, please limit your contact with people from outside your household. We had a FEDCO meeting, that's Finance and Economic Development Committee. One of the big things there was around the ward boundary review. For the next election, which is about 2 years from now, we're going to be updating the ward boundaries. Doesn't make a big difference for Stittsville. Stittsville's going to be expanding a little bit to the south to bring in the Edenwild and Traditions 2 neighborhood along Parade Street and Edenwild. I think a lot of people there think they live in Stittsville now, that they're part of Rito Goulburn now, but as of 2022, they'll be part of Stittsville. The other thing is on the north end of Stittsville, we're going to see a bit of a change to bring in the folks from Lloyd Alex. Right now, they're part of Rito Goulburn as well. But I think it makes sense to bring those residences in here. There's some other minor tweaks and changes, but for the most part, Stittsville's staying very much intact. And the whole point of this is Ottawa's population is growing, and it's also growing more quickly in some areas than others. And we're trying to redistribute all of the wards to have about equal representation, equal population in each ward. So that goes to City Council on Wednesday for final discussion and approval. I had a Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority meeting. I'm serving as vice chair of that committee until the new year. And it manages the whole Mississippi Valley watershed that goes quite a ways west, almost to Algonquin Park. Here, Pool Creek and Carp River are part of that watershed. And it's an organization, all conservation authorities are going through a lot of change right now. There's some changes to the provincial legislation that's being proposed, and another very challenging budget, not unlike public health right now. A lot of changes and a lot of changes coming up over the next year or so for Mississippi Valley. And then we had our Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee meeting on Thursday, where I sit as vice chair as well. Next week we have probably a very long City Council meeting on Wednesday, where we're finalizing the 2021 city budget. Thanks to residents who've shared your feedback about the budget and your ideas, what you'd like to see. I did post a YouTube video about some of the OC Transpo budgeting issues, because it's a complex and probably the most difficult part of our budget this year. So if you get a chance, go check that out on YouTube. And then besides council, I have a planning committee meeting this week, and I'm thinking of the agenda. I don't think there's no Stittsville items on that agenda this week. Two other updates I wanted to give you. City launched a new thing, a virtual sign language service. So if you're calling 311 for assistance and you need sign language service, that's now available through the Canada Video Relay Service. So a great step forward in making city services more accessible. And this December 6th, which is Sunday, there is a vigil for the National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. Usually this is a vigil that's held at the Western Ottawa Community Resource Centre here in the West End, but obviously due to COVID that's not possible, so they're going to be doing a virtual memorial. So I'll share some information about that on my Facebook page, and I hope you get a chance to attend that. It's a very moving, a very, very difficult ceremony, and an important one, and it's unfortunate we can't meet in person, but I'll be attending that virtual one. Now, I think I fit in everything I wanted to. It is a dull, overcast day, a little bit cool. I want to encourage folks, if you're looking for something to do, take a little tour of your neighborhood, walk around your neighborhood, check out the Christmas lights. Lots of people are putting up decorations this year, lots more than usual. I've heard that the supply of Christmas lights and Christmas decor in some of the hardware stores is pretty scarce right now. But folks here like the Turcottes have gone really above and beyond this year, and it's a great way to bring some spirit and some holiday cheer into our neighborhood. So thanks to everybody who's taken the time to light up your house and light up your street. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.